Okay, so you run into an old friend that you haven't seen in, say, about a year. And in the course of your conversation, she asks you, "Are you still going to that church?" And you say, "Yes." So she asks you, "How's it going?" Wow, where do you begin? Well, this is Everglades Community Church, a year in review. You start by telling her about a few of the series at ECC, like Big Rocks, which represented life's obstacles and how having a prayer life is the greatest tool to overcoming, and Fearless, which was all about conquering the fears that hold us back from living a productive and purposeful life. Then you remember Trunk or Treat. It took place about a year ago, and how your pastor dressed in some ridiculous costume that everyone made fun of, and how the church got this huge bounce house that you couldn't pull your son away from, and how all the friendly people really changed your mind about church, that you used to think a church was just a building, and now you see it much differently. Then you tell her how the people of ECC gave baskets of hope to 72 families. Your friend says, "What's a basket of hope?" And you're like, "I'm glad you asked." Each October, ECC, along with A Place and Time, gives out empty shopping bags and shopping lists. The lists have all the items a family would need to enjoy Thanksgiving dinner. A family from ECC takes the list, buys the items, along with a $25 gift card for a turkey, and returns the full shopping bag to A Place and Time. The food and gift card are placed in baskets and delivered to families in the community that could use a little hope. In all, we helped 200 people receive hope in one weekend. There's one more thing that is amazing about the relationship between ECC and A Place and Time. Bread of Life Ministries. 40 needy families totaling 200 people receive groceries every month. One woman, who walked in nearly suicidal and hopeless, said, "I received more than just groceries. I received hope." And since you were talking about the holidays, you tell her about the Christmas program, and how your son performed as a dancing cow, and the candlelit Christmas Eve service, and how last year at Christmas, during Adopt a Stocking, 20 orphans at Children's Harbor received stockings filled with Christmas presents. So she says, "Wow, so far this sounds like an amazing place." And you're like, "That was just the first 3 months." Then you blurt out the word, "Awana." Your friend says, "You want a what?" So you say, "You have kids, so I should tell you about Awana." You start by telling her about the games, music, fun, and lessons. Awana takes place on Friday nights, which many of the parents take advantage of and use as a date night. You go on to tell her how some parents even started a small group study called Date Night. They meet 3 weeks in a row and then go out on a date on the 4th week. And because your friend has a kid in 9th grade, you tell her about the youth ministry. That's the ministry for 6th through 12th graders. In the past year, youth ministry has grown to about 40 students coming on Sunday nights and has about 50 students go on retreat. Some of the students even lead first priority clubs and share the love of Christ on the campuses of Everglades High School and Plantation High School. So your friend says, "You guys do a lot for kids." And you're like, "You should see our men's and women's ministries." Our men are called Men of ECC at War, which is short for Willing and Ready. They have 2 studies every week. The women are called the Bad Girls of ECC, which is short for Bold and Devoted to the One Who Set Them Free. They do this event every month called KISS, or Keep It Simple, Sister. Then your friend says, "Your church really likes acronyms, huh?" And you're like, "Tell me about it." Any woman from anywhere who just wants simple truth in a complicated world can come for free. At the last event, women came from as far away as Aventura and Homestead just to be a part of the event. So your friend says, "Wait, a woman drove all the way up here from Homestead?" Yeah, a woman drove all the way up here from Homestead. On Saturdays, they have an exercise group called Body Gospel, where women can come and exercise to Christian music. Then you tell her about the 385 people who attended Easter service this year. But what was more impressive than the numbers is what happened the following week. You go on to tell her how the church went to the beach for a family picnic and baptism, and how 14 people were baptized in the ocean, and how 4 more renewed their baptism. After the baptism, it rained and we all played in the rain. Your friend says, "Your church went to the beach and played in the rain?" Yeah, we played in the rain. Then you say, "I haven't even told you about summer yet." We had a week-long summer camp called Vacation Bible School, where there was dancing, crafts, lots of laughter, and learning about God. We had over 77 children and youth participate, and we had more than 20 volunteers help to create an amazing experience. Then there was the end of summer pool party at Rose Price Park with Cub Scout Pack 442, which the people of ECC sponsored. The next day in Sunday service, they had a back-to-school blessing where the church prayed over every child, school teacher, and administrator. And trust me, they need it, especially the teachers. You also tell her how the youth ministry had a back-to-school bash and scavenger hunt. Kids get split into teams and sent out all over the city to solve clues. Kids were in and out of storefronts for answers to the questions. Then they came back to the church for a night of praise and worship. Then you say, "Did I tell you about small groups?" And she says, "I don't think so." Sweet. ECC has 13 active adult small groups, one for every weekday. The people of ECC have found that their small groups have become a place where they are able to plug into, grow spiritually, and make friendships that last a lifetime. But out of all the things ECC has done this past year, the most amazing thing is that 11 people have given their lives to Jesus Christ. Then your friend says, "How do you remember all that stuff?" And you say, "You come to Everglades Community Church for a year, and it will be a year you'll never forget." And that's Everglades Community Church, a year in review.